to today's video. So I've created a makeup tutorial for you using the Tartelette in Bloom eyeshadow palette by Tarte Cosmetics. This eyeshadow palette is absolutely beautiful. The colours are stunning and the formula is so blendable and creamy. It's absolutely perfect for beginners. So if you are a beginner or even a qualified makeup artist of 20 years, this palette is just stunning. And I definitely recommend it for you, but especially for beginners. Because if you're learning how to blend, it really does help to have a formula that is easy to use and easy to blend. Anyway, if you'd like to learn how to create this look, then please continue watching. Enjoy!
Alrighty, so taking the MAC Prep and Prime Natural Radiance Primer, squirt one pump onto your hand and take a flat brush and apply the primer all over your face, taking it over the eyelids, eyebrows, under the eyes, the nose, chin, forehead, cheeks, everywhere. And now taking my Anastasia Beverly Hills Dip Brow Pomade in the shade Medium Brown and an angle brush and filling in my eyebrows. Now I'm going to take a small compact flat brush, the Kryolan Concealer in the shade SYH, and then the two Kryolan Concealers in the shade RN1 and RN2, a buffing brush, and also the Kryolan Translucent Setting Powder. And I'm going to use all these products to create the perfect base for my eyeshadows. Beautiful. Now taking some Scotch tape and applying it to the outer corners of my eyes. So now taking the shade Smarty Pants from the Tartelette in Bloom eyeshadow palette by Tarte and my eyeshadow brush, I'm going to take this colour and pack it into the outer corner of my eye. Also taking the shade through my crease and buffing it towards the center inner corner of my eye, just using a sweeping sideways motion while buffing it upwards. And now doing the same to the other side. Don't forget you do need to continue dipping your brush back into the colour to build up colour intensity. Now taking a larger, fluffier blending brush with no product on it, I'm going to take this over the edges of the eyeshadow I just applied and blend it in a sweeping sideways motion and upwards to blend all that colour out. Now taking the shade Rebel from the Tartelette in Bloom eyeshadow palette, I'm going to use my eyeshadow brush and pack this shade into the outer corner of my eyelid. Following the same pattern I did with my transition shade, but not taking this colour as high. And doing the same on the other side. Now going back to my clean blending brush and taking this along the edges of the colour I just applied as well and pulling it outwards and upwards to blend it through the transition shade. And doing the same to the other side. We want to see absolutely no harsh lines. As you can see there, it is all blended beautifully. And now taking the shade Leader with my eyeshadow brush, I'm going to pack this shade in the outer corner of my eyelid, taking it through the crease, but not taking it too high. It's very important not to put this colour too high or in the wrong spot because dark colours are very hard to remove once applied. So just using little circular and sideways motions to blend this colour out. With dark colours, it's all about patience. It will take time to get it blended, but you will get there. Just packing the darkness back into that corner. When you do blend with darker shadows, you can dust off some of the colour, so just pack it right back in there. And doing the same to the other side. And now of course going back in with my clean blending brush and taking that over these dark edges that I just applied and blending them upwards. And blending out the other side as well. Now taking a compact flat brush, I'm going to dip this into the shade Funny Girl and apply this to my eyelid and inner corner. Now you will need to dip your brush back into this color several times and continue applying it just to get it as shiny and shimmery as possible. And applying the same shade to the other side. When applying this color, you really want to pack the most amount of product in the center of your eye and then buff it out to blend into the darker colors. Again, we don't want any harsh lines. And now I'm taking my flat brush and applying the shade Rebel in between the highlighting shade and the darker shade, and I'm doing that on both my eyes. And now going in with the shade Leader and packing that back into the outer corners of my eyes just to give the blending effect. And finally, to blend it all together, just going back in with a little bit of the shade Funny Girl. And now taking a fluffy brush and dipping it back into the shade Funny Girl, I'm applying this to my brow bone as my highlighting shade. And the same to the other side as well. Now taking my clean blending brush, I'm going to take this brush in between the two shades, the darker shades and the highlighting shade, and blend them together in a sideways motion. And the same to the other side, just to make everything look blended and beautiful. Alright, and now taking the Anastasia Beverly Hills Waterproof Gel Eyeliner in the shade Jet, I'm going to take my angular brush and drag the eyeliner along the Scotch tape and then back towards my eye to create the wing, and then dragging it across my eyelash line to create a straight line. Now pulling off the Scotch tape, and you can see how beautiful that line is with the eyeliner and the eyeshadow. Now going in the center of my eye and dragging the eyeliner across my eyelash line to join up with the previous line we just applied. Joining it all up to create a beautiful, smooth, straight line. And filling in the bottom. Now going in and using the same technique on the other side. Pulling off that Scotch tape to reveal that beautiful straight line. Making sure you fill in any gaps, and there are our wings. Now using a compact bullet brush, I'm going to take the shade Smarty Pants and apply this to my under eye. And same to the other side. Now going in with the shade Rebel, going from outer corner to almost inner corner. Don't take this shade all the way to your inner corner, stop about 1 centimeter away from your inner corner. And now going in with the shade Leader, going from outer corner to inner corner as well, just building up that color. And now I'm going to take the Tarte Lights Camera Lashes mascara and apply this to my eyelashes. The best way to apply mascara is in a sideways squiggly motion while pulling it out, just to make sure it covers all those hairs, and to the bottom as well. Now taking the Kryolan concealers in the shade RN1 and RN2 mixed together, I'm going to apply them to my nose, chin, and a little bit under the eyes. Any red areas or discolored areas, just apply the concealer to. And now going in with my buffing brush to buff all of that concealer out so it's all smooth on the skin. So now taking my large stippling brush, my wet beauty blender, and my Maybelline Fit Me foundation in the shade Natural Beige, I'm going to apply this to my face, starting off on one side, on the cheek, over the mouth and chin and nose with the stippling brush. Also blending the foundation down my neck so the colour all blends in together and there's no foundation lines around my jawline. And now taking my wet beauty blender and tapping it into the skin over all the foundation I just applied. This creates a beautiful smooth airbrush look and eliminates the possibility of seeing any nasty brush strokes. And doing the same to the other side of the face, applying the foundation with the stippling brush down the neck. And then going in with the wet beauty blender and tapping it all in. Now going in and applying the most amount of foundation to the center of my forehead and tapping it out, blending it into my hairline rather than applying chunks of product to the hairline. Now taking the Cara 100% Human Hair Eyelashes in the number 43, I've applied some duo glue to these, waited for them to go tacky, and now I'm applying them to the top of my eyelashes. These need to be as close to your eyelashes as possible so that you can't see a gap between the false eyelashes and your real eyelashes when you open your eyes. Basically, when applying the eyelashes, you need to place the band of the false eyelash where your real eyelash hair meets your skin. That's where the band needs to sit. And then you will get the most natural looking false eyelashes possible. Now I'm taking my Mironess concealer stick in the shade Barely Beige and applying this to my under eye area and beside my nose just to brighten the whole area. And the same to the other side. Also taking it down the center of my nose and in the center of my forehead and also on the sides of my lips and chin area. So now taking my wet beauty blender and again using the tapping motion to blend all of the concealer into the foundation. The concealer is a very sticky product, so it's not going to blend into perfection with one tap. You do need to work with it and tap and tap and tap until it blends out beautifully. Now I've dipped my beauty blender into the Crayola translucent setting powder and I'm going to press this into the concealer I just blended just on my under eye area and beside my nose, just pressing it all in to set that concealer. Now with a fluffy brush I'm going to dip that into the Crayola translucent setting powder and just tap it onto the rest of my face. It doesn't have to be as much as what I've done under my eye, just a smaller amount. Tapping it all through the whole areas that I put my foundation and concealer, forehead, neck, and now going through and brushing all that off. We leave it on the under eye area just that little bit longer just to make sure it sets and there's no creasing lines. Now I'm taking a smaller fluffy brush and dipping this into Sombre from the Kat Von D Shade and Light Contour palette. Applying this as my lightest contouring shade to the hollows of my cheeks, just in a sweeping and circular motion, so we don't get any harsh lines. And same to the other side, making sure to drag the colour about halfway down the cheek, not too close to the mouth so we don't end up looking like we have a beard. And also taking the colour around the edges of my forehead. Now going in with the shade Shadowplay, which is a darker colour, just to deepen my contour. When applying the contour, we blend upwards. We always blend upwards, never downwards. We want the contour to blend into our cheek and accentuate the highlight when we apply it. Now I'm taking the shade Lyric and my larger fluffy brush, going to take this powder and apply it to my under eye area just to brighten the whole area. The powder really gives a very airbrushed look. You can't see any lines and just brightens it. See the difference there? Beautiful. Now for my favourite part, I'm going in with the Anastasia Beverly Hills Amrezy highlighter and my large fluffy brush and just applying this to my cheekbones. I also take this over my nose, my cupid's bow and the temples of my forehead, just so I look like a light bulb. And now going in with the blushing shade Amaretto with my large fluffy brush, I'm just going to smile and apply this shade to the apples of my cheeks and pulling it back into, basically in between the contour and the highlight is where you want to angle it. Now going back to my bullet brush and the shade Funny Girl, I'm going to apply this to the inner corners of my eyes just to create that highlighted look and make my eyes pop a little bit more. Now going in with the Savvy lip liner in the shade Chestnut and the Velour Lips matte lip cream in the shade Byron Bay, which is where I'm from. I'm just going to line my lips with the lip liner. When lining your lips, it is important to continuously rest your mouth just so you can see how you're going with the shape and just making sure you're following your natural lip line shape just so you're not creating some crazy mouth shape that looks nothing like your own. And now going in with the matte liquid lip cream and applying that to the center of my lips and then pressing my lips together continuously just to blend it all in.
Thank you for joining me in today's video, guys. I hope you loved the tutorial, and if you did, then please don't forget to like, share and subscribe. I will be leaving a full list of products I used in today's video in the description bar below, as well as a list of my social media links. If you have recreated this look on yourself, then please take photos and send them to me. I'd love to see what you've done. And also, if there's anything about makeup or any makeup looks you want to learn how to do and you'd like to see a tutorial on, then please let me know as well, because I'd love to know what you want to learn. Anyway, until next time, guys, I will see you in my next video. Have a good day. Bye.